So technically she works for my, my buying and selling company, Bendall Properties. But Sandust is a company we use to manage our rental properties. I say manage them. It's us to buy, to hold all our rentals.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a property management company that handles those. But Jenny she pretty much can do a little bit of everything and does a little bit of everything for us. So she will help me with the QR code thing and the form fill and all that. So
that's good. All right. What do you want to jump into? Because I just had a very similar call with a host in New Orleans, where the reality of it is having properties on our platform is one thing. Managing the platform to optimize for your business is a completely different thing.
yes.
I think that's where you've come to now, is like, all right, well, let's get into managing the business on the platform.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you had we talked about bedding and supplies, and I saw your pictures. That's cool. I like it. Yeah, I like that whole idea. That's pretty cool. I'll be sending that to Sandy and say this is what we need to do going forward. Now, hey, answer me this. So
Yes, sir.
the people that are in my rooms now I did not supply them bedding.
Okay.
Am I going to have to jump in and supply them bedding now?
No, you don't have to do any of those things. It's just a matter of, like, if you want to test one thing or another, like that's the best way I can describe it, is like, do you want to test it? Because you could try it with one house for a room that's vacant and test it as a test. And if it does work, that's something that we move toward. If it doesn't work, then we don't have to move to that.
Okay.
Like that's the best way I look at it, is like, if we have the options to do that, then let's try it. If not, then we don't have to do that.
So are you replacing your pictures that are advertised for those rooms with the picture that you sent me?
Yeah, here, let me show you. I'm literally fiddling around with my listing right now. Okay.
Okay.
So this is my listing as it shows on the website. It's this one here.
Okay.
I'm fiddling with it because I want more visibility. Okay. Do not be alarmed by this thing. I'm going to show you a ridiculous kind of hack that I'm learned here. Okay. Let's just start with this idea.
Okay.
When members are searching for the properties, this is no different than if I am somebody who's searching for anything on Amazon, right? Like, this is something that I do now, is like every house gets a wall organizer for mail. Okay. So I know I need this thing. I go out here, I just do a quick search, mail organizer. So I'm either choosing the first one that goes, I'm choosing it by price, or I'm choosing it by when it delivers, right? So as an open marketplace, this is equivalent to this page in my mind.
Right.
Okay. So it's like, I have customers that are scrolling. What do they see? They either see price drop, the photo, this thing their eyeballs go to, or they read something specific here, right? Like every single host gets the same exact real estate billboard on our site.
Right.
The question is, am I using that real estate different and or better than anybody else? Okay. We do understand the algorithm has limitations. Are you aware that the algorithm has a algorithm that uses location, price, and photos to determine how high on the list of photos or listings you will go?
All right. So tell me again, what are the qualifications?
Location, based upon the map on the right-hand side, Dean. So if I'm over here, wherever I'm searching, if I were to draw like an XY axis on this side over here,
Yeah.
the one closest to the middle with the lowest price combination with the pictures will be position 1A.
Okay.
This guy in this position gets way more views than somebody on page 5, right?
Right.
It's the same thing. It's we have more supply than we have little squares to show. So if location is going to be the primary driver, you in Macon, you got to win the Macon battle, right? But if somebody searches for Atlanta, do we really think they'll search for Macon, or that would they not? But in your case, let's just, I'm going to go and just kind of show you what I'm talking about here. So if I were to search for a room and I went into, it's going to come into Atlanta, and if I said Macon, right, this is who's showing up. I'm going to zoom out a little bit because I want to show you what it would really look like on our website, which is typically, it should be 3 to a page. I don't know why this thing's, let's see if I can go to actual size. I don't know why it's showing up as 2 to a page, but
Okay.
it should be 3 to a page. That's the normally, right?
All right.
And so the other part that I want you to recognize is 80% of our members, they don't view it on a computer or a desktop. So they don't get this big bloated version, right? They get like on their mobile.
Right.
So let's keep that in mind. Let me know if you recognize where your property is. Do you know which one?
I'm in Northwest Atlanta.
Oh, you're talking about the one in Northwest Atlanta. Okay,
Yeah,
let's go back.
I've got
Let's go back.
two in Northwest Atlanta.
Okay. Hell, Dean, let me just go to you right now, and we'll do it specifically for your specific properties. Okay, let me just mimic you. And we're saying that in your properties, you're looking at 64 Woods and Lyndhurst, okay? So how do I manage, if I'm you, I pull it up, manage properties or manage rooms?
Yep.
These are the two that are vacant for us, okay?
Right.
We're looking at 614 being the one of record that we're looking for.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me make it easy for us to go back to.
Man, I really appreciate what you're doing to help us out here.
No, this is like, you're supposed to use me in this way, right? So like, the more money you make, Dean, the more properties you're going to put on. That's just the simple math in my head.
Sure.
Okay, so here we go. This is your listing photo here.
Right.
Okay. Do you know how to get under the hood and kind of navigate the listing itself?
No, I don't. Okay. I got a response back from your people about how to do a few things, but no, I'm going to act ignorant right now.
No, act like you're first starting out. Okay. Okay. So we started and created a listing, and you attack it by getting into that edit listing button on the upper right-hand corner, right?
Right.
So in order to do that, it brings you to this page. This page is essentially, let me back up again. Let me just bear with me. Let me start from the beginning. When you log in, this is the screen that you go into.
Yes.
From this screen, we have this menu up here.
Right.
You get dashboard, metrics, manage, earnings, resources, and referrals. And if you wanted to, you can go over here and you can go edit anything around your specific host account setting. But for this part, we're going to talk about the operating business of your portfolio. In order to do this, from this screen, you'll get all the aggregated data that you have, okay? So you have 87% occupancy across 15 rooms. You got 2 vacant. This is your members that you have in there. This is the ratings that you get, your income information. This is your availability that you have per property. And then that's about it, okay? Great, that's what you get from the dashboard. Moving over here, metrics, it gives you performance data. Think performance being what the rest of the world sees from your property in this view. Okay, so if I'm looking for Atlanta, this is the information that we would get from, all right, is anybody clicking on your listing? If they do click on your listing, do they get deep into the listing? Equate this page right here where all the dots are all over the city. This is equivalent to me searching in Amazon mail sorter. Okay. So now all of these people are trying to sell me a mail sorter. And you can either move up by either being sponsored, or you can move up the listing by being the first person right here that is organically that high in the search.
Right.
Whatever algorithm they have, and I'm going to probably say it's ratings and price and availability, right? It's kind of those between these two that's very similar between what's what. So they get up here because it's listed as an overall best pick, or somebody else says it's the best seller, and that's how they organically get to the top.
Okay.
Similar way that we think about our listing this way.
Right. Now tell me how you got to this page right here.
This one here,
Yes.
just the members page for Find a Room. This is how they search for your rooms. Okay. So if you were a member and you were searching for the room, you would log in and say, find a room.
Okay.
So imagine this is your customer's view of what they're looking for in your world, right? So when they're saying, hey, Atlanta, let me go find a room in Atlanta. There's 1,041 rooms that are identified in all of these dots over here.
Right.
Okay. Well, that's a lot of rooms that we're competing with. Each individual tile, that's this little square here, every host gets the same space for every singular property. So you have two properties, so you have two tiles out there in the world to be consumed. One of them is fully booked, so they won't even be displayed because there's nothing to book.
Right.
So the one we're looking at is the 614 property, right? The 614 Woods. Well, we're going to try to find the 614 Woods property on the member search. Let me take a look. It's really a pain in the ass because I don't go find the actual kitchen photo, what it looks like, and then I got to go search over here. Can you tell me where northwest, how far northwest are we talking about?
I'm inside 285.
Oh, okay. So you're over here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what happens is as I move the map, right, it's an XY axis. So whatever closest to the middle is going to be positioned over here. And you can see that by if I select this property, even though the price is higher, look where it is in the map.
Right.
Right. So location is really important because our information says members want to choose by location. If I'm working over in Ackworth, I'm not choosing a house in Forest Park. Right. So the assumption is that members are smart enough to move the map around, so they look for it. So that's the L. That's the location in the algorithm. The second part is pricing, and the third thing is photos. So that combination of those three things are going to drive whether you're high on the list or lower on the list. Like this property here, I'm so sick of seeing this property here, but it's always at the top of the map.
Really?
Why is it always at the top of the map? Because it's always like lowest price, and it's kind of near the center of the map when people are looking. So this guy always has one room left over, and it's always available. It's because he's winning the location game. And then he's got a product that's really cheap. This is a 9-bedroom, 3-bath, so it's always kind of high on the list. So he constantly gets new throughput. What makes me mad about that is if he's constantly getting up here, it means his tenure's short, right? So
Right.
people are coming in, come out. That's not really what we want to do. See this price here at $92? I guarantee you that price is not $92 for real. And let me show you what happens. So if this page of all of the tiles is equivalent, I'm going to go back to here just so you stay with me. It's equivalent to the Amazon search page of everybody listing, right? We want to get off of the marketplace and I want to get into my store, which is when I click here, now I'm into Dean's store, right? So it's like from this place, I can buy. So imagine going off of the marketplace where you're marketing, and now I clicked you into my store in order to look at my rooms that I have available.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So right up there near the top, it says visit the super easy store.
Yeah, essentially, right? But essentially from right here, I can buy.
Yeah.
Okay. Imagine in our world, I take you off of this tab. I'm like, oh, $92. And I click into it. It's going to take me to this. Right now, I'm off of the PadSplit total marketplace, and now I'm into your specific listing, which is essentially your storefront for this property. So at this point, I'm going to say, these are the descriptions. These are the room photos and the house photos. See this number right here? Why is she so popular? Well, she's really popular because she's listed as $92 a week. But she's not really $92 a week. She's learned how to game the hack a little bit. So look at what happens here. If I am looking at this storefront and I'm saying, hey, I want to book that room, it's $92. You see anything stand out that's crazy?
Yeah.
So she's not using the $92 to have somebody book the room. She's using $92 to get you off of the marketing page into her storefront because she has other rooms available that need to book. Right? So this is a standard price with a 102. This is a 101 with another 1,500. Like, she's trying to get her rooms filled. And you can't get rooms filled unless people are viewing your room. Right? So this is one creative, hacky way of doing it. The other ones are pretty straightforward, right? Your location, you can't really dictate, but your photos, you can. The problem we have with our marketplace with the photo idea is, if this is really not what the room looks like, and I open the door, am I really going to get a rug and a painting? Or am I getting a bare mattress? You know, what does that moment of truth look like? So
Right.
and said, hey, I want this room near West Side Park. And then they open the door, they're like, that is not what the room looks like. Right. There's some, like this one over here. There's a clusterfuck theme. Like,
Oh, yeah.
damn well, there's no plant in that room. I know there's no floor in that room. Like I'll give you an example. I'm sitting in my PadSplit right now. And this is a room in my house that's available. And I consider this is the moment of truth, right? So I come here, I'm like, okay, I'm going to put in the code. Does this room actually look like the room that I thought I was booking? Does the picture match, right? Does it have the things that are supposed to be in the room? And everything in the room that I talk about is in the room, because I don't want this person calling customer service and be like, yo, I just walked into a bare mattress with a stain on it. I need to transfer, because that will happen. Like, it historically happens. So from our standpoint,
Now I understand why I got some comments on my, and a high rating, a high move-in rating, when somebody said it's actually as presented or something like that.
Because other hosts, they're like, hey, you need to improve your picture. Use this AI tool. And then they use the AI tool and they're solving for the problem, which is the picture looks great. But then they're like, wait a minute, I'm not actually doing anything different in my house. So when I move in, this picture may not be as desirous as this picture, but when I move in, it actually looks the same, right? Expectations are set, expectations are met. So I'm going to pull up. Let me pull up mine and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so if you go back over here, sorry, just bear with me as I navigate, because I'm logged in as you, but I want to show you what I'm talking about. So if I search in Stone Mountain, right, and I'm looking for rooms in Stone Mountain, this is my competition. This house I'm sitting in is here. So this is my competition. As I'm scrolling, everybody kind of looks the same. And then all of a sudden, you're going to come across a listing that may look a little bit different. Like, even drives me crazy. I can't even get on the freaking first page. So this is my Okay. And my listing, when I say we all get the same physical space, I take that same square footage of space that I get for my listing, and I'm doing more on that little square than most people, because when members choose a room, it's like them looking on social media. They're just scrolling. And because PadSplit just came out with this new algorithmic thing that says, hey, let PadSplit choose the best pictures. Well, as a new host, what the hell would you do? I'd let the platform choose the picture, right? So more and more kitchen, bedroom, kitchen, outside, kitchen. So it's like they're choosing the same damn photo every single time. Well, if everybody looks the same, I think, this is my own interpretation, it becomes a commodity. And so
Right.
when people are looking at a commodity, just like I did here, it's no different than saying, I'm just looking for the cheapest male hanger. But it's not, we don't sell commodities, right? Some people do, but
Yeah.
essentially, I'm trying to communicate to somebody, hey, I want you to pick my house and my room and stay for a long amount of time, because that's how I make my money. So when I'm comparing to everybody else, I need to figure out, what am I communicating to my customers when they're looking to book a room? Trying to go back to my listing here. I'm trying to say, hey, in this property, which is mine, you're going to get the same things in every room: a mini fridge, a TV, a workstation, a smart lock. This is an example of a bedroom. This is the workstation and the TV, and this is the mini fridge. So I'm trying to communicate all of this through photos, because that's essentially how people are shopping. And the way my photo is set up, it just stands out compared to everybody else doing the same thing. So if you consider how Airbnb people used to compete, it's like when they say, hey, what's your hero shot? This would be more, what people would say is a hero shot in Airbnb. Good lighting, the way the house is set up. But we don't really sell the outside of the house.
Right.
We sell the room, right? So it's like, if I am trying to say, hey, how do I put my best foot forward in this little small compressed space that they all allocate to me? I'm just trying to get you to have a reason to click from the marketplace and click into my listing, which is my storefront. And now you get to tell me more about the listing. So in this sense, I start with the hero shot, and then this is the pictures of the bedrooms, and the bedrooms tell the story of what it's like living there. So this is kind of one way that some people can attack it. Like for me, I always have $103 move-in fee. It's $100 and the $3, 2.75 thing. So I include the bedding and the linens in the move-in. So in this room, you get this bedding, brand new. You get a stack of towels, because this room has a private bathroom.
Right.
In the rooms that don't have oh shit. Forgot the code. In the rooms that use a shared bathroom, the standard set comes with a shower caddy, because
Right.
the directions are take your crap out. Right. So even in this, like this is the smallest room in the house. When I said, what's the standard set? You get your TV, you get your mini fridge, a closet, a workstation, and a chair. So it's consistently, as I continue to put houses on the platform, I'm looking for, do I have a reason why Dean, who's staying in room 2 and having a good experience, will Dean refer his friend Fred into my house? Because he can't tell me what it's like living at PadSplit, but he can tell me what it's like living in Dean's house, right? And like, even from your standpoint, would you rather, Dean gets you $250 for the referral, or $9,000 for the tenure of occupancy, right? And this is where you, being an operator and a better operator than the other next person over, this is where we just need them to move in. Once they move in, we can kind of win on, is your experience better than the next guy? If you indeed have a better experience, that's where we make our money, is like, we want you to move in and stay because it's better than most. If we're selling a commodity, then lean into the fact that you're a commodity and sell the price, sell the location. Like, I talked to a host, he's got 9 properties, came on very early, 13 bedroom houses, 11 bedroom houses, just big ass little bedroom houses. He's like, I can't be doing all that fancy shit you do. And I'm like, you don't have to, because the product is located right in the middle of the city. So, buddy, you're in Manhattan. I'm in Long Island. Like, lean into what you are, which is, you're not going to beat the location. And I bought it in 2017, so I can get down to 139. Well, don't give me some virtual AI looking room and then I move into it and it's a bare mattress. You're losing people because you're trying to play the marketing game the wrong way. You're trying to compete with me when you should just be leaning into what you are, which is, I give you Uber basic and Uber shared, and you can afford it to live in this city, this location, right next to this bus line. I don't have any of that. Like, you got to walk damn near half a mile to get to the bus stop for my house.
Right.
But that's not the business that I'm running inside of this house. But he's successful and has been for years because he's right in the middle of East Rhine Hill. Like, I can't compete with that location, but he's trying to play this game because somebody told him, you know, AI and virtual stage and this and that. It's going to be easier for you to book a room because he's trying to compete for here, right? Like, he wants more clicks on the dashboard and the platform versus just leaning into what he is and just using the ratings and the description to be like, dude, this is the best location in the city. It's right near 3 bus lines. Like, this is for you if you're that customer. So with
click on yours again.
So now the listing.
All right. So you put this all together.
Yeah. So this is like, Dean, this is a photo from my iPhone. I do not bring in professional photographers. I just put it into AI and say, improve the lighting. But what I want to tell you is everything that's in here is in the room.
Right.
Because I think that moment in time when they open the door, that's probably the most important moment, right? It's like, hey, that's exactly what I paid for, or that's exactly what I thought. So in my houses, we provide a fully stocked kitchen, right? Like, these are things that I know are differentiators compared to most. Like, all the linens are provided. This is what the dining room looks like. You get a common space area, and every room that I am marketing will have the same thing. Right. And then, you know, then you get into the extra pictures because the way that the algorithm or the way the listing thing, it just goes into all of your photos. Well, how do you access that if you are the host? I have to log in as me, but like, if I went into your listing.
Let's do it. Go back to the map.
Yep. Hold on. Let me go find your
map. I don't know, wherever you were on my.
Yep. So this is you.
Yep.
If I click into your listing, I would hit edit listing details. This is under the hood. This is the carousel of photos that you've selected to display on your property. Okay. How do I access this thing? I hit edit photos. So I'm gonna go back. I start here. Let me go back one more page. This is the unlock for you right here.
Okay.
That button gives you, give me the photos and everything that's displayed for like photograph wise for the house.
Okay.
So you click on that bad boy, and now you got access to, if I wanted to share the listing card, I would hit this button that says preview listing card. Let me just show you. Loretta says, hey, I like you. do you have a room available? Oh, I've got the perfect house available. I'm going to send you this link. If she's already a member, you got to send this one. If she's not a member, you got to send this one, because this is for approved members and this is for non-approved members.
Okay.
Okay. So that's how you do the send the preview link, the listing card. If I want to change the listing name, which is this thing here. Okay. I want you to change this. We're going to go back and change this.
Okay.
Everything says newly renovated. And when I mean by everything says that, if I'm searching, I'm gonna hold on, just let me go find a page and I'll show
Mine
you what I'm
really
talking-
is.
I know it is, right?
Yeah.
So if you're gonna do it, be real specific about it and be like, hey, this is newly renovated in October or June or July. Because
Okay.
if you look through here, stunning renovation, beautifully upgraded home, flexible, newly renovated,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
the default setting. And then it just kind of blends in with everybody else.
Okay.
I teach people that this window, this is like YouTube. This is like,
Yeah, you
goddamn, when I
yourself
zoom out, Dean, like I don't even know what channel and place to go find a freaking TV show. Like, because I have so many choices now. And I think this is kind of what ends up happening is like we get lost in this like sea of choices. We need people to convert. So when I think about this screen here, what are we doing to make somebody say, hey, that's really interesting. I'm going to stop and I'm going to scroll and I'm going to see what's going on into their, storefront. So
right.
let's go to your listing over here. Let's see if we can find it. It should be, you said inside the perimeter up in this area here, northwest,
Yeah.
by West Side Park. Okay, if I like this, you got to bear with me because I don't know what your photo looks like for your specific.
Okay.
So 614. What I'm looking for is this photo right here. So this is your hero shot right here. Okay.
Okay.
I'm essentially looking for that. So if I go to the listing page, which is here, I'm going to just keep scrolling till I find where that is. I can zoom in and make it faster, but let's do that. It just removes as many dots as possible. But you're in a congested area in terms of supply. There you are. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is your location right here. And what are we telling everybody? We're saying, hey, if I'm interested in this room, I'm probably going to be looking at pricing as a comparable.
Sure.
The description, which is 200 characters. How many rooms are left? Like this is all the information that is presented in this same little square of real estate that you have access to.
Yeah.
Okay. When I look over here, if this is you, right? I'm going to zoom right next to you. This is your competition. You're staring at a 149 room right next to you,
Right.
right here. Okay. So this house has one room left, and that's essentially the closest competitor to you. And you're here, and your competition is right here. So what's the differential between why I would choose your property versus this one, or this one? Either I like the kitchen, I like the outside, I like the kitchen, or I like your photo. But primarily as a customer, I'm probably looking at pricing. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you want to do it that way, either change the photo, which is something unique about your house, or put a label or something differentiates from the sea of same. Because right now, if I were looking around for pricing, I'm $20 more expensive. I'm $4 more expensive. And Dean, our customers will pick a damn room for $4.
Oh yeah.
So now the question is, do we want a customer that is going to be purely price driven, or do we need to find a way to say listen, bud, I have better reviews than most other people. Like, the reason I wouldn't choose this house is because they get 2 stars. Okay. So if I'm you and this is my
Why is that even
listing,
displaying the stars?
okay, I'm going to show you there in a second, right?
Okay.
You get into your dashboard and you go to this metrics page. Metrics as a menu gives you 2 things. One is performance, and performance means the platform will give you data on these subtopics,
Right.
which is tenure. Like we've covered this before. Like, are people viewing your room? That's in the listings menu. How long are people staying? If you were living in California and be like, yo, why is it taking so long for my rooms to flip from a move out? This is where that data will come in. So for us, you get to go over here and say, all right, let's talk about Woods. I want to see the occupancy for Woods. Occupancy when we started was February, so just about a year ago, and now we're at 80%. But I'm really interested in listings. I want to know on my listings, why are people are they clicking? Are they seeing it? Like, this is a measure of visibility. So the first menu, it says search impressions. That's no different than telling you of all the houses that are out there, do you show up on the page that people are looking? Okay. So the impressions is equivalent to like, am I one of the 20 tiles on any one of these pages? Does that make sense? Like,
You're right.
if I'm here, you use Investor Lift.
I have.
So it's same thing, right? Like whenever they display 50 properties on one, are you on that page or are you on the next page?
Yep.
That's essentially what this metric is showing you. So think search impressions by like, I'm one of many on the page. What we care about is this: unique views. Are people clicking into your storefront and looking at your rooms available? And over the last 7 days, we're getting roughly 4 to 6 a day, right? We had 8 over here. We had not 8 over here. Essentially, we're getting over the last 7 days, 5, 5 or 6 per day. Over the last 30 days, we looked at it like this. We peaked at roughly 40 a day, 23, 18, and then today we got 8. So we're lower from where we were last week to where we are this week, right? So this is what the performance and listing tab will tell us. It doesn't really tell us what to do, but it gives us a canary in the coal mine of like, hey, our views dropped. Why is that? And then you come back over here and you're like, hey, compared to other people, either less people are looking northwest or somebody is, messing around with pricing, but they're going to go see somebody else versus mine. So that's the indicator. It doesn't tell you exactly what to do, but now because you are better informed, you now kind of understand what levers you can pull.
Yeah.
And you have photo. You can't move location. We know that. But it's real estate. You can move pricing. You can move the description. And I would love for us to focus on this, which is right now it's such a differentiator because not everybody has move-in stars. Okay, so how do we solicit more of those? Well, that's a business process. That's in your team. What are we currently doing to encourage members who move in to fill out the damn survey? Well, how do we know what the survey questions are? Well, we tell you. So from the metrics, you can go, performance gives you all of this goodies, or you can go to member feedback. The stars, that score only comes from the move-in. And you only get it posted when 3 of them are public. So that's the minimum criteria. So if we have 2 and we argue, we only have 2, we don't have the third because you got 1 taken off, then you don't get a number displayed. But you do have good responses. I don't know if it's historical. When did they come in? January 06, December 25, and then this one is probably further away.
Yeah, I've got the history and I've got the number, so I don't know why they wouldn't, or quantity. I don't know why it wouldn't.
Yeah, I'll go back and double check what the limitations on how far back they go. And it's like these are the Lyndhurst ones, right?
Right.
You have one for 16, 614. That's why. So if I pulled up the Lyndhurst one, you would see the stars on there because you met the 3 requirement. But at Woods, I only have the 1. So you need 2 more at Woods in order to get the stars listed there.
But I'm not going to be able to get that until I get another move in because I can't go backwards. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I had more than that. There was a lady named Rocky. They gave me a really good one on.
Let's see what historically it looks like.
Woods.
There's your Woods. Yeah, I don't see any other ones for Woods.
I had another one there from a gal named Rocky.
Okay.
I thought I really did have enough on there.
Not sure. Okay. Either way.
Maybe it's stay reviews, you know, where they were.
Yeah, it could probably because you had people that were here for a while, right?
Yep.
Alvin. Julie, Jimmy. Is now Veronica who you're talking about?
That might be.
Rocky?
Right.
She sounds like Rocky. Yeah, so she gave you a very satisfied maintenance of the home, room 9, all of that. Okay. With all that being said, if I know that on this platform, I am going to be rewarded for having stars as a differentiator, especially early on, right? Then I am going to go actively solicit the stars. Meaning, what's in the questionnaire? That's really important. Okay. Like, don't go asking for questions we don't know the answer to. That's a big one for me. So if I know what the move-in survey is going to ask, the survey is going to ask the same questions. Did you have any issues accessing your property? Right? Like, think about what PadSplit's trying to solve for here is the door codes were incorrect. The move-in instructions were bad. The room wasn't ready. Like, worst case scenario type of nonsense. Right. So, you know, they'll have, did you have any issues? And look at the answers. Door lock broken, lock code not working, no key, no lock code, unclear instructions. Okay. So how do we address that within our product? Well, the way we address that within our product is from the house menu, which is here. This house manual is where everything resides in terms of your external sent communications, meaning when they move in, you get, hold on, I just showed this to a host earlier. I just want to pull it up because you'll see it. Hell, where did I put it? Oops, sorry, different email box. Here we go. Okay. This is what it looks like when you move in. All the information that you provide on that house manual type of thing, so the move-in information, the lock codes, this is the email that gets shipped to the member.
Yeah.
This is the home you're going into. This is the room you're going into. Here are the move-in instructions that they just copy and paste and export out from your listing. This is your access details. These are your lock codes, front door, side door, lock door. And that's essentially what they get sent. So from your property, if you're not tight on the move-in instructions and it's just the generic, and let's say like for this house here, I've got 2 doors. One, you got to climb upstairs to the 2nd floor, and the one is you got to go all the way down the end of the driveway. I had to go back in here after I read that. I was like, Jesus, it's not really clear on which door they should be going into. The codes are the same, which makes it a little bit better. But if you're not super mobile, I don't really want you force you to move upstairs, all the stairs to get there. That's why we put the door at the end of the driveway, so it's at lower level.
Right.
So take a look at this, and you can edit the instructions here to be like, hey, is this defaulting for the dumbest dumb person? I hate to say that like that, Dean, but like we shouldn't get penalized because somebody A, doesn't read, and B, they're like, I didn't get the information correctly. Because that's where you're going to get banged out on this stupid survey that says I had issues moving in. Okay. So second question, was the host responsive? Right? It's okay that they didn't ask any questions, and it's okay that did this. B and C are what ding you.
Sure.
Okay. So we want to make sure that we're being responsive. So this is an internal systems question to your team. This is asinine as hell, but like, are the utilities working? I have seen people getting dinged on no, and they'll say something to the extent of, I just talked to a guy in New Orleans. He's like, yeah, when they moved in the room, she has a thermostat in the mini split. She had to turn it on, and she didn't turn it on. So she said, no, utility's not working. So he had to go argue against the survey, right? Like, that's something stupid. I've seen another one where it says like, hey, I took a shower and the water didn't get hot. So what was their answer? No. Like, again, default to stupid is stupid, right?
Right.
And then how would you rate the condition of your room? This is where I think people get beat up on photos are inaccurate.
Right. Yep.
Or like the angle's really big, the description's inaccurate, it's missing some furniture. I would say over half our doors are out-of-state investors. They have no idea if it's missing furniture. Yep. The other half that are failing are, let me find one that's super fancy AI. The ones that are failing would be this. I don't have a painting. I don't have the rug. There's not only one nightstand. So their response is naturally true that says missing furniture.
Right. Yep.
So with all that being said, how do we get ahead of this? Even this one, common area condition. Okay. How would you rate the condition of the home? Right? 50% of unfinished maintenance, whatever the case may be, right? Like, what does that even mean? 4 stars or less because you got unfinished maintenance. I don't even know what does that mean. So here's what I do as an operational.
That was. Because if it's what I think it is, it's one girl that I had to go change a light bulb for her. It
doesn't go into clicking and seeing who's giving it because they made it anonymous. So I think that's how the survey is broken up. I don't know. Like we can track back and figure that out. But let me explain how to solve for this. Mechanically speaking, Dean, the move-in survey, this survey from PadSplit, it will ship 24 hours after the move-in date and stay on their dashboard for 7 consecutive days.
Okay.
Which means that if you're only getting 6 responses, you got 18 rooms, we got people that are not answering the questionnaire. So internally for your team, here's a solve. Here's a suggestion. Okay. I created a Google form questionnaire. This is kind of what your employee is going to do for you.
Yeah.
You're going to copy those damn same questions, just like I did.
Okay.
And I start as simple as I started teaching people that we want 5s. 5s are good.
Yeah.
Because some dumbass will give you all 1s and talk about how well they rated you because they think 1s are good.
Right.
Because in our survey, like, they may not read, hey, we want 5 as being good and 1 being bad. Like, people will just kind of click through and bag you for this. So I have multiple properties, so I want to know the thing. Like, this questionnaire gets sent out immediately after the move-in. because I am trying to answer the same questions that they're going to be asked on the official survey. I want to get the answers first so that my team can look at the answers and be like, whoa, what do you mean you had issues accessing the home? Well, I couldn't push the lock code. You didn't follow the instructions, fella, and hit the little blue button after you put the code in. Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, so when you answer the survey, make sure that you did not experience any issues. So this is the lawyer in me, right? It's like, I'm not allowing PadSplit to ask you questions that I don't already know the answers to.
Right.
And this is just a simple process change. You can create the survey. You can send it out on the house messenger. You can send it out to them directly. Please fill this out. And you're essentially just leaning into, oh, we're high customer service. We want to know that, we're super engaged. This is the kind of host you're dealing with.
Right.
But you're trying to protect your ass from not getting a bagged out Yelp review.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're just getting ahead of these same things. And then I use the same questionnaire to be like, hey, what do you like most about this room? Because I am trying to get as much data from the customers that move into my room as possible.
Sure.
And I've gotten to the point where I ask them, like, what do you like most about the listing? Like, this is on my, what do you call it? This is on my member questionnaire. Like, I have a screening questionnaire that I have. It looks something like this. So of the questions that I have my person asking, I want to know, what did you like most about my listing? Because I take that feedback and then I go back to my listing.
Make sure you highlight it. Yeah.
Just highlight the crap out of it, Dean. Exactly. You know what I'm talking about here. So it's like, when people said they liked large in the room description. So in my room descriptions, everything calls out large and spacious, right? So it's like, I heard you, and I'm going to use that in my marketing to make sure that you know that every single room is big and spacious, because that was the feedback that I consistently got over and over and over again. Right. So it's like, this is my marketing is feeding back into my customer feedback, feeds back into my marketing. You fish. If I'm using, a top water, I'm going to keep using it. If the guy next to me is dropping to the bottom and catching, I'm switching bait.
Right.
It's the exact concept. And then, like, those are the same lessons that I use when I'm thinking about this, because I'm just fishing. I'm fishing for people to click. Once they get into my specific listing, then I'm trying to get them to convert.
All right. I'm going to jump in there and I'll get smarter about all this, but send me, if you don't care, send me
not at
those
all.
2 surveys that you're doing.
I sure will.
The 2 you showed me.
Yep. And then here's what I want you to take a look at as well.
All right.
If PadSplit gives you in this listing the space to put in a video, and you don't use it, you're wasting the real estate.
Sure.
Okay. So here, this is let me go back to here. So, and it doesn't have to be a house tour. You can even use it to reduce the problems on the move-in, meaning that, like, on my house move-in instructions, I actually have a QR code or a link to a YouTube video, how to use my locks. Because, like, literally, like, I refuse to get a bad rating because you don't know how to use my locks. That's
right.
Silly. And it's like, I always use the analogy of, like, Airbnb. When you use a P-Touch and you label all the switches and stuff, like, I'm only visiting for 5 days. I love when you tell me where the pots and pans are, because none of these Airbnb people will put their utensils where I think they should have been. So I'm opening a drawer and I'm looking at oven mitts and I'm like, well, why don't you put the utensils next to the dishwasher, idiot?
Yeah.
But, like, same concept. They're moving into your house for the very first time. Can we make it as simple, stupid as possible? And that's what I mean by, like, it's not if we're not competing on the member experience, and that little tidbit is like, man, I really like the way he labeled the house. Like, if that stupid reason is why you stay one more week, I'll take the $200.
Yeah.
If that stupid reason is why you stay and you tell somebody else, like, hey, he's really organized host, and I get another referral from somebody, I don't care what the deposits in the make you want to stay and give money to my business is, but I need to make more little deposits and get out of trying to compete as a commodity, because there are plenty of people who don't know how to do this. And their default setting is like, all right, I'm just going to reduce the price. I'm going to reduce the price, reduce the price. And then it's a race to the bottom. All that being said, Dean, keep this in mind. If you go down the path of like cheap, is it truly the customer you want to go after?
Right.
So there's a balancing act between like, I want convenient and easy, and I want these rooms to fill, but if Johnny come lately can only afford 139, and I've got 4 other people that are, smart working professionals, that's going to cause flash.
Right. Right.
So like one of the things that I push really hard in my houses is this idea that everybody in this house has got something to lose. They're just like you. They're making a smart choice. I even put it into the listing itself. So it's like, I made the conscious decision, that they're this. They're like-minded people seeking value. And like that's what's in the video. Like if you go down to the bottom here where the rooms are available, this video, I use it for multiple reasons. It's like it gives you a tour of the house. I also include this video as part of the move-in instructions because it gives you direction from the door. Here's how to get to your
lift your left foot and your right foot. All right, go back up to the top. I want to see this address. I'm going to get Jenny to look at that with me.
I'll send you the link.
Okay.
I'll share this with you so you guys can kind of analyze it and break it down. And there's some stuff in here that's like, I'm still fiddling with this because I went back and I was like, oh, the stuff that I teach, I didn't even do in some cases. Like all of my pricing should end up with a 9 or a 7, right? And like I didn't. I just got lazy and put 200 in there because when I was setting it up in the beginning, I forgot to go back and edit it. Like think about how you buy for retail. Like the way people price their goods, 151 doesn't do anything for me, but 149 would. The difference between 162 and 159, $3 doesn't make a difference to me, but the mental of somebody who's actually buying.
Right.
Now we're getting like real granular if you want to go down it. Like when I used to sell Boar's Head, all of my customers, whenever I get a price change from the manufacturer, I would have to pass on the percent to keep my rates the same or my margin the same. Yeah. I would always go to the next 9 or the 7.
Huh.
Because, if I went to 162 and they were like, wait a minute, wasn't this 157 before or like whatever the case, they'd bitch at me for a nickel. Right. But people just consume on the 9s and the 7s less. It's just easier. I don't know. If that's true, then it's true. I'm not going to lose it because instead of 219, I went to 222.
Right.
Right. It's a stupid way of not checking off all the boxes. And it's just the better understanding you have of this is how my customers are consuming what I'm marketing and putting out there. It's a little bit difference in what they're doing. So take a look at your hero shot. Take a look at like from the customer side. Once you make changes, go back to your find a room page, go find your listing and be comfortable with like, hey, this is the billboard I intended to put out versus like, this is just what the platform's doing for me. This transition for you over this next quarter is like, for the longest time, we allowed PadSplit to kind of do our stuff. Now I want your team to just use the crap out of the platform. Right. squeeze the juice out of it, get them more views, more fills, more everything. Like if we know that a promo is going to drive more, I'll give you an example here. If I know that a promo is going to drive more clicks, because I know the algorithm is going to drive more clicks based on promo and pricing. If I know that I want to get 159 here, okay? So what I would consider doing is 10% is 16 bucks. Half of that is $8. I'm going to go up $8. Or let's go to 169 if that's okay. And then I'm put in a 5% promo. Well, what this just did was it triggered the algorithm to say, hey, watch what happens here. It's going to go, it's going to move it from 169 to 161. Fuck. Sorry, I should have adjusted it 2 more pennies. But you get what I'm saying? Like you can manipulate this at a granular level. So instead of being 160, so the $4 that you're trading off here for the pricing, it may reduce 7 days less of somebody not booking the room.
Right.
Right. And this is where, as a business owner, your opportunity cost conversation comes in. Right. So it's like now when I'm looking at this, I went from 164 to 159. I'm trading $5 off of, for maybe it booking 4 days faster.
1 second. I'll be right back. I got somebody behind the door.
Oh, no, you're good.
Sorry, that was my dealer.
No, you're good.
My Girl Scout cookie dealer.
Oh, the Samoas are coming back. See, this is when you got to make sure that you're working out a little bit to take on a couple more pounds, Steve.
Right.
It's gross when I'm like, can you sell them in tens? Packs of 10?
I bought a case of the
Yeah.
the
Which one what do you go? Thin mint?
oh yeah. Stick them in the freezer.
Freezer? Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Now I know why we get along. Okay. To this point, it activated March of 2025. Okay. If the message that we're putting out to folks for consumption is this, if it says newly renovated, let's get granular and tell specifically what we did, right?
Facelift and yeah.
Right. So we can go summer 2025, you know. Because this is straight marketing at this point. You know what I mean? Like, what else is special about the house that you like a lot?
I've got
what would make somebody say your house, like, I'm sorry. Okay. This is, I would stop here. Sorry. Let me not interrupt you.
okay.
I'll go back to here. Where was I? So this is where I would say for an existing house, what could I do? I can come back to the member survey, right? And I can
copy and paste them.
go back to like, what is it that they like, right? And I've seen some hosts where they literally create one of the pictures in the carousel like a Yelp review. They'll say, they'll get rid of the last name and they'll say, they'll have it like a little talk box, where it's like that type of thing.
Yeah.
And then they'll say, this house is amazingly clean and satisfied. And then and then underneath it put hyphen Alvin J or whatever, right? Like you're just trying to convey, because what do customers not know? They don't know what it's like living in the house, right? And nobody knows to go and check all this crap out. This is all for me marketing externally, because of the property itself. You have the ability to come back in here and edit in the carousel of photos. What if the second picture was Alvin's testimonial about living there, right? And then you just put that into the carousel of like, this is the room, this is the kitchen. Oh, this is what Alvin says looks like. Like, think about just giving more reasons why somebody wants to move in, right? It's the same way you choose a restaurant. It's the same way that you consume this consumer behavior. It's just the psychology of it. How many en suites do you have? It's a 9-bedroom, 4-bath. Like, even in here, instead of being so like, I like this, right? But what I would do is something possibly like this. Here, let me, in the property description. See what we do here is I make it so easy to consume. Why do my customers want this? Right? What value are we providing? It's just bullet pointed, because the kids, they read bullet points. They don't read paragraphs, right? So in your listing here, the things that you have, sorry, I'm just navigating around. The things that you have listed here, if I went through and changed the property description to read this way, would people consume it faster?
Yes.
You know what I mean? And then you get to put the little emojis and stuff in there, like, so you have them read it the way that they currently read it now.
Right.
Which is just stupid and simple, but the reality of it is, that's just how our customers consume. So even with this little subtle change, I have 2,000 characters to play around here with, but when I read it, look how it reads on the dashboard.
Plenty of room up and down, just, yeah.
And it really just gets to the things that, if one of these things is the reason why I want to do it, boom. Okay, that's enough reason for me to say yes.
Yep.
So it's just, we're just knowing how to manipulate the product better than 98% of the people that are doing it. Once you start figuring your processes out, for every property you put on, this is just an SOP, right? This is how we do listings, guys.
Right.
And now, when I go back around and say, hey, what I would like for you to do is consider this. You have this thing called your host setting right here, right? You can go into your setting and edit this. So it doesn't have to say Dean, right? Like, you can come up here in the corner, go to your settings page, and see how it displays Dean B on your public profile here.
Yeah.
You can edit any of this.
We've got a company. It's Sandust LLC.
So yeah, so you can come back through and say display name is it Sandust, right?
Yeah, it's
So,
one word. SANDST.
Okay, so you can come back through. Is it
One D. Yep.
Okay, so you can come back through here, and once you do that, let me show you what it looks like. Is now you're building your brand to say, if you're going to refer a property, hold on, let me get into your listing. Sorry. You're going to refer it's going to refer back to the company.
Right.
And the reason I kind of like this is if you ever get in trouble with the city or whatever, they're going to look at Dean B and start looking for properties listed by Dean B. Because what ends up happening is, as a member, if I am searching for a property here, and hold on, let me go to. If I'm searching for a property here, and I see your listing, and I go to it, as if I'm a member, at the very bottom, there's a thing that says show all properties hosted by host. Because then it'll show you all of the this is logged in as you, but if I was a random person, it would say view profile. See this? And you can change whatever this reads, and it'll show you all the properties that he has here. And it'll show you, hey, show all occupied properties. So as you continue to build your portfolio, this is how you're going to push people to refer, not just to the one house, but hey, I have multiple houses, just hit my profile.
Right.
And then you get to manipulate that.
Cool.
A lot to consider. I will
It
share
sure is.
this video with you so you can share it with your team.
Okay.
And then I'll share the survey questionnaire, and I will also share a link to my listing. And then let's just keep improving it, because what I want you to do is this. We're going to track data. You're going to go into the metrics tab. You're going to take a screenshot of how many people are viewing the property, and all we're looking for is more eyeballs. The
Right.
more eyeballs we get, the more conversion opportunities we get, the more booking requests we get. Like, it's a visibility problem that we currently have.
All right.
So we're going to adjust it with price, photos, we can't do location, but like those combination of promos, pricing, photographs, those are the levers that we have access to. Let's noodle around with it just to increase the visibility. From the visibility, then we get more at bats, and then you get to be pickier and choosier about who we're saying into the house. And
Right.
that's the flywheel we're looking for.
Perfect, man. I really appreciate all your time. That's a
Yeah, man, this is good.
productive call.
Sounds good. All right, I'll share everything with you, and have a good one. And then we'll touch base next week and kind of just look in and be like, hey, where are we at compared to where we were
What
last
happened?
week?
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you, sir.
You got it, Dean. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.